Hi there. How's your money? We're back again with yours truly, Cryptoella. In the past months, we were dazzled by the impressive NFT sales numbers from time to time. Like the $600,000 for the Nyan Cat meme, $5.8 million for artwork by Grimes, or the $230 million in lifetime sales for NBA Top Shot. What has happened since then has been enough to make some of those numbers look minuscule by comparison. Even as NFTs slipped out of the headlines in the mainstream press, then, the number of people creating, acquiring and trading them continued to grow. NFT collectors are now spending thousands of dollars worth of Ethereum cryptocurrency on virtual game items that don't actually belong to any game, feature any artwork, or have any stats to them. That brings us to Dom Hofmann. Hofmann is best known as the co-creator of Vine, which helped to establish the short-form video format on mobile devices, and became an incredible engine of meme culture along the way. Later he created Peach, a pop-up social network that remained beloved by its users far after its brief moment in the spotlight faded. More recently he worked on an effort to revive Vine as an app called Byte. It sold earlier this year. In December, he began to teach himself Solidity, the programming language for creating smart contracts on Ethereum. In March, he created Blitmap, which he described as a community-created fantasy universe. It wound up serving as a kind of blueprint for what Loot would become. And that is what we're going to talk about today, Loot. Crypto gaming has certainly taken a strange turn. The new trend in town is to create characters, take them on adventures and level them up, as well as purchase in-game items and other traits, all for games that don't even exist yet. Those offering the items have no plans to build the game. It's entirely down to the community to do all the heavy lifting. And yet, without any guarantees of any future utility at all, these items and artifacts are selling for millions. And all of this started with a thing called Loot. On August 27th, Hofmann tweeted that he would be dropping a weird experiment in a little bit, having previously teased the project, describing it as Dungeons and Degens. A few hours later, he announced Loot, describing it as randomized adventure gear, and stating that there were only 8,000 bags. An uncharitable way of describing all this is to say that Hofmann created a way to let people pay the Ethereum network to return a list of useless names to them. He provided a link to an Ethereum contract. Members of the crypto community used this contract to create the bags and send them to themselves. It was free to claim the bags, but you had to pay transaction fees. The 8,000 bags were snapped up in less than 4 hours. In the next 5 days, CoinDesk reported that those loot bags were resold for $46 million and had a market cap of $180 million. Each bag contains 8 items for a supposed adventurer, a few wearables, and a weapon. They're all named like any mythological game, with such items as a dragon skin armor or a platinum ring of anger. But these are not real bags, or even digital ones. They are simply white text on a black background, saved as images and minted as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, which looked like this. Despite not having any artwork or real game tied to it, a market began to form around its scarcity, and prices quickly soared. In one case, a user is even selling a divine robe of power for 300 ETH, which is equivalent to more than $1 million USD. What makes Loot different is the number and variety of projects that have spun up around it at a staggering speed. First, of course, people started drawing pictures of the loot bags, some by hand, and some by artificial intelligence-generated pixel art. Then they began to create guilds based on the items found in their bags. People also created backstories and entire worlds and universes where these weapons and magical items exist in. Before long, other users began creating adventurers and heroes who wander and journey through these virtual lands with their items, which have since acquired different stats to them too. The wacky idea is that game developers can build a game or multiple games around these collectibles, assigning items that match the attributes in the bags. So anyone who owns the bags may be able to access such items within these yet-to-be-created games. With this sudden hype of Loot, It's no surprise that a host of projects tried to recreate Loot's success and ride on its coattails. There are versions of Loot based around different types of settlements, as well as Loot for Cyberpunks, with items like the Gauntlet of Nightcity. Plus there's Bloot, a NSFW version aimed at the crypto crowd with one safer attribute called the Pixelated band of WAGMI, an acronym of We're All Gonna Make It. And there have been a lot of airdrops to such Loot and other holders. Any Loot holder can claim a randomly generated name NFT for their character. Bloot holders each receive 10,000 based gold, or BGLD tokens, a sum worth around $8,300. Now the question is whether Loot will somehow evolve backwards from a set of in-game items to an actual, playable experience. Of course, it's also possible that the bottom falls out, that the frothy Loot market won't be able to sustain itself. Right now the NFT market is full of speculators hoping to flip their acquisitions for a quick profit. Perhaps owning these artificially scarce goods won't prove as attractive over the long run. But this has always been the bear case for the blockchain, that eventually enthusiasm for it would fizzle out and everyone would lose their money. But with projects like Loot, we can begin to see something new coming into focus, an open sourceum or something with potentially broad appeal. So in short, that is all the news regarding our beloved cryptocurrencies today, straight away from yours truly, the Cryptoella. Before you leave, make sure you click the like button, share the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe so you may get notified on our latest videos. Have a great one, and bye.